Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. They're going to tackle a common issue that many developers face when working with Spring Web Services creating a SOAP web client. If you've ever struggled with this topic, then this video is for you. We'll break down the steps involved in creating a SOAP web client using Spring Web Services and provide a clear explanation of the concepts and processes involved. Whether you're new to Spring or an experienced developer, understanding how to work with SOAP web services is crucial for building robust and scalable applications. In this video, we'll cover the key concepts and steps involved in creating a SOAP web client and provide examples to help illustrate each point. So let's dive into the topic at hand, facing issues while making the SOAP web client using Spring Web Services. When working with Spring Web Services, you might encounter errors or difficulties when trying to create a SOAP web client. This can be due to various reasons, such as incorrect configuration, missing dependencies, or misunderstandings about how the framework works. To begin with, let's define what a SOAP web client is and why we need it. A SOAP web client is essentially an application that consumes a SOAP-based web service, allowing you to interact with the service programmatically. In Spring Web Services, this is achieved using the Web Service Template class, which provides a simple and intuitive API for sending and receiving SOAP messages. However, when creating a SOAP web client, it's essential to ensure that your project is properly configured to work with Spring Web Services. This includes adding the necessary dependencies to your project's pom.xml file if you're using Maven, or build Gradle file if you're using Gradle. You'll also need to configure the web service template bean in your application context, specifying the URL of the web service and any other relevant settings. Once you've set up the basic configuration, you can start building your SOAP web client. This typically involves creating a Java class that uses the web service template to send requests to the web service and handle responses. You'll need to specify the request payload, headers, and any other relevant details when sending the request. Now, let's talk about some common issues that you might encounter when working with SOAP web clients in Spring Web Services. One frequent problem is related to namespace prefixes and XML schema validation. When sending a SOAP request, it's crucial to ensure that the namespace prefixes match those defined in the web service's SUSDL file. You can use tools like SOAPWay or Eclipse's built-in WSDL editor to inspect the USDL file and identify the correct namespace prefixes. Another issue you might face is related to authentication and authorization. If the web service requires authentication, you'll need to specify credentials when sending the request. This can be done using the web service template's set credentials method or by configuring the ITT components client request factory. To summarize the key points discussed in this video, understand the basics of SOAP web services and Spring Web Services. Configure your project to work with Spring Web Services, including adding dependencies and setting up the web service template bean. Created a Java class that uses the web service template to send requests to the web service and handle response. Be mindful of namespace prefixes and XML schema validation when sending SOAP requests. Handle authentication and authorization correctly using credentials or configuring the HTTP components client request factories. That's it for today's video on facing issues while making the SOAP web client using Spring Web Services. I hope this explanation has helped clarify some of the key concepts and steps involved in creating a SOAP web client. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content on Java development and related topics. Finally, I'd love to hear about your own experiences working with Spring Web Services and SOAP web clients. Share your tips, tricks, or horror stories in the comments. We're all here to learn from each other.